everyone. I'm back, and it's Monday, so a bit different this week. This is a three live stream week and will be for a few weeks. I have no idea how long this is going to take me, but it's a 3,000 piece panorama, which I have actually already just done. I did the life panorama, which is 3K. So maybe that timescale would give me a clue. But anyway, let's say the hellos. I shall see who's in. Right. Oh dear, and that showed up, so then it made my chat disappear. So we've got SS, best Monday ever. Yay! Thank you so much. Focus North is here. Hello, hello. Ruth's here. Hiya. Hello, Peggy. Hello, Griffin Dog. Under the weather. Hello, all. Just going to watch. Oh, you're not feeling good. I'm sorry to hear that, Griffin Dog. I hope you feel better soon. Was able to get the day off. Yay! That's good. Oh, another ad just showed up. That's very annoying. Urgh. So where was I? Sonia's here. Good morning from California. Oh, it's early there, isn't it? Goodness me. Thank you for being here. And we've got, who have I missed? We've got Angela's here. Hello to you. Hello, Nance. Soul Empress is here. And Winter's here. So how are we all today? Hopefully we're all good. Can you all see and hear me fine? I'm assuming you can. I'm assuming you would just tell me if you couldn't hear me. Um, Hello, Joshua. How are you? Any new larger piece count puzzles coming? Any for me? Have I got any new ones coming? I don't have any coming on the way at the moment, but I do have plenty already, so that's probably a good thing. I think it was my earbuds. Oh, you couldn't hear me. Could you not hear me before? I made your Monday so much better. Oh, thank you so much. Glad. Glad I can do that for you. Oh, right. Okay. So I have a confession, and that is that I haven't finished sorting this. In fact, I only just started this sorting it a couple of hours ago. But I do have a good excuse, right? And it's related too. What I really should have done was started sorting this yesterday and maybe finished it this morning. But I didn't do it yesterday, and the reason is because I spent pretty much the entirety of yesterday editing my wildlife video for the big wildlife, the part one of sections 8 and 9. And the reason I was editing that is because I really want to get the video. I actually kind of hoped I would get it out yesterday, but there was no way that was going to happen. But I am almost there. Like I just literally recorded the outro today. That was another thing I did this morning. And so I've just really got to edit that and add some pictures. And it's done. So what I thought I would do with that is schedule it to go up on Friday and do premiere. I thought I'd maybe premiere the last two wildlife videos, and we can talk about it and sort of say goodbye to the puzzle. I'm on the last two sections of it. I really can't. So anyway, that's my excuse. That's my excuse for not having finished the sorting on this. But I've done a lot of sorting. I've literally got this pile here and this much of the bag left. That's out of 3,000 pieces. There, you see that bit better. So I'm going to be starting off with a bit of sorting, I'm afraid. I hope you don't mind. But what I can do is explain how I've sorted it so far. And we can talk about sorting and things. I mean, people have actually asked me to do some sorting on the camera. Not that that's the reason I'm doing this. um, but it might be a good opportunity to have a discussion about sorting and different methods and stuff. So what are we saying? No large piece counts coming. Vicky, you sit on a throne of lights. Funny on the way, I don't think. unless somebody sent me some, but I don't think so. But but I mean, I've obviously got loads, but there's nothing coming that you don't know about. So after like videos wise, so after wildlife, I'm going to be doing downtown, which is the 6K. I'm obviously working on six portals on a Saturday. This is now my Monday puzzle, which is 3,000 pieces. I'll show you the picture actually. It'll be a good start, wouldn't it? So this is what we're calling a mini me of the wildlife puzzle. And in terms of scale, it really is a mini version. It's 10 times smaller. It's 3,000 pieces, and the big one is 33,600. But the big wildlife is, let's be honest, one of the super giant puzzles, isn't it? So yes, in terms of scale and perspective, it is the mini me, but it's not a miniature puzzle by any stretch. It's still big at 3,000 pieces, and it's a panorama, just like the life puzzle that I just recently live streamed on a Saturday before I did six portals. The life puzzle is also a 3,000 piece panorama. So I'm going to build this much the same way on six pieces of A2 foam board. In fact, I've got all six pieces over to my left. I won't need all six straight away, but I've got them there. And I'm just going to build sections and take it from there. Now, I don't think this is going to be quite as easy as life. Not that I thought life was easy, but life had big chunks of sections all over. Um, More obvious sorting areas. This is very busy. It's full of wildlife, which it's got an apt name. Um, well, let me tell you, it's been quite strange sorting this. There's familiarity there for sure, but the scale is so different. It's sort of throwing me a little bit because I'm just so used to the ginormous version. So, can talk about that a bit as well. But anyway, this is the image. So it's the wildlife puzzle, but it's got some of the start cut off, some of the left hand side of the picture, and some of the right hand side of the picture cut off. So if you imagine the big wildlife puzzle is longer by about that much, like so I remember doing this bit here where the rhino is cut off. That's on the big puzzle. That's the end of section 7. So if you think there's another 3 sections, 8, 9, and 10 on this end, and I think maybe 2, maybe at this end. I think the lions appear in section 3, possibly section 2. Can't remember. I think there might be less cut off at the beginning than there is at this end. But so you've got kind of the middle of the panorama. So it's the open space that you're seeing here with all the animals in the open space, but you've still got a lot of foliage at the top. It's a bit of kind of closed foliage here. It doesn't really start to close up on this side until section 8, which I'm working on right now on the big version. So yeah, so it's the same image, just a bit cut off either side. So you're on moments today, are you, Winter? Yay! Glad about that. Thank you, Vicky. Your live stream is cheering me up. It sucks having sinus issues. Oh gosh, that came out wrong. Sinus issues. Sinus issues. I know. I bet it does. I'm sorry about that. I'm glad. I'm glad that the live is cheering you up. I'm very glad to hear that. I'm glad it's making people's Mondays happier. It's always nice when you can cheer people up. I don't know if I trust my fridge. It's taken so long for it to cool okay down again, and I've even put ice and coolers in. If I didn't break something, but the attached freezer works. Oh, is it not cooling, the fridge? Oh. Have you maybe accidentally caught the. Some fridges, they have like a little dial where you can like cool it further or warm it up a bit. And I used to sometimes if I had a lot in the fridge, I would sometimes catch the dial and it would get too warm. Um, or is it not as straightforward as that? Soul portals is mixed and ready to be sorted. Yes. How are you going to approach it? How are you going to sort it, Winter? Have you decided yet? Good day, mate. Sending you healing hugs. Oh, I might need to get into a meeting at some point, but I will enjoy this as long as I can. Oh, I'm glad you're here, Anna. Hopefully you can be here as much as you can. Any new larger piece counts coming? Any new larger piece count is coming count with Ravensburgers and Educa. Oh, you mean like new releases? I don't know. Don't know because I mean, Ravensburger just fairly recently released the 7,000 piece puzzles. There's a 5,000 piece puzzle that's out that's fairly new. It's like a map of the world. I think that's relatively new. I don't know about giants. Um, Magica, they're bringing out big, large piece counts all the time, but again, I don't know about proper giants. So they're the most recent ones that I know about. But I mean, if I hear anything exciting on that score, I will of course put it in the Puzzle News channel in Discord. How you doing, Neve? Um, goodness, it's like Honey Who Shrunk the Wildlife. Yes, that's right. That's absolutely right. Feeling sad. Oh, I'm sorry about that, Neve. Well, hopefully the live will cheer you up, and we will cheer you up. Thanks, Ruth. My foster family's moving away. Oh, so that yeah. I'm sorry to hear that. It's not your fault. I've known since I was 6. Now that I've gotten a good look at this puzzle, it's absolutely lovely. So this puzzle is now hard to find. But it has been for a while, I think. Hard to find. I'm not sure what the year of release was, but I mean, they just recently re-released Life. I don't know if they'll do similar with this. But it's quite a rare find now, this one, and I actually got this from Rare Puzzles. Jorge had it on the list of puzzles to look out for me, and he let me know when one came up, and it was sealed. It had cellophane on. The lid is a little sort of compressed. I don't know if it's had something on top of it, but the bag was sealed and everything, and it was in good nick. So I was very pleased with that. It wasn't overly expensive either, but I do find the prices on rare puzzles to be not not eBay stupid. You know what I mean? It depends on who the seller is. It's not always the same seller on rare puzzles, but um, I do trust Jorge on rare puzzles. I'm always kind of happy to get a puzzle from them. They usually turn up as described, and they're very careful with wrapping it. They're very aware of what they have with rare puzzles. So it's good buying from them. But yeah, it was hard to find. So I was very happy to get hold of this fairly recently, actually. And I thought now is the time to start doing it because I'm on the home straight with the giant one. And you know me, I like to do my mini me's alongside. So that's the reasoning behind it. It is quite hard to find. Vicky, I didn't properly close it yesterday. Oh, I see. Oh, right. Okay. So I had to throw out some food and dairy this morning. Also, the duck we were supposed to have for dinner would have been my first try at a duck. Oh, it's a shame. Yeah, that it does tend to happen with our fridge, but it does often happen with our freezer. Like I would have to you have to kind of give it an extra push and make sure it's shut. You can't just sort of give it a swing and then think it's going to shut. Like because I had to tell the kids quite a few times to make sure it was shut, and they do now. But you could always tell when the freezer door had been left open a wee bit because the chunks of ice in there. Oh, it's such a pain, and then you have to go through the rigmarole of defrosting it. But yes, no, I've been there, been there. Think I will start sorting and see how I feel, but hopefully sorting portal by portal, but maybe all at once, I'm not sure. And all edges. Oh no, this is the thing. Often I have a plan and then I don't end up sticking to it. I was meant to phase sort this, and I kind of am, but it's not gonna be small phases. Well I'll discuss it in a wee second. I get a regular thermometer in it to keep track, already bought new food, so don't want them to go bad too. Yeah, of course, of course. Yay, I'm glad your puzzle arrived, Neve. That sounds fun. It looks fun. Our fridge freezer makes a noise if we don't close it properly. Oh, it's like a siren go off. It's probably a good thing. All right, so that's the puzzle. We now all know what it looks like, and I assume we're all fairly familiar with the wildlife image anyway. I'm going to put the box over there, the lid. There's no poster with this, so I'm working off the lid, which thankfully is unobscured because it's one of the panorama boxes. The Educa logo and the number 3000 and everything doesn't cover the image. So I can see the whole thing on the box lid, thankfully. Going to be finishing, not tonight, I just finished sorting a Buffalo 1500 piece puzzle. We'll be starting my Educa 3000 Sistine Chapel in the next few days. Ooh, that sounds nice. It sounds tough. Sounds like a tough one. All right, so here's what I've got in front of me. This is a pile that I was just literally currently sorting through. What I've been doing is just grabbing a couple of handfuls, putting them in front of me, sorting them, and then grabbing the next batch. This box here is everything not sorted. So there aren't vast amounts in here. I have quite a lot of sorted piles. So that's what I mean by it's like a sort of a phased sort, but there's more piles than I thought there would be. So what I've got here in front of me is that's animals with spots. So that's things like giraffes and leopards and stuff like that. That is okay. Some of these piles represent big chunks of puzzle, like lots of areas. And that's one of the differences between this one and the big one. That's elephants, rhinos, hippos, in some cases crocodiles. It's very brownish, sort of dark yellowish um, colours. In some cases, you can tell textures. You can tell an elephant's trunk, things like that. But I've lumped them all in as one. So that's those. That's zebra. There aren't. There's just a small cluster of zebra in the background of this puzzle, and they're always pretty obvious because of the stripes. So that's zebras. This is flamingos. Always like sorting the flamingos in this puzzle. Very obvious, bright pink colours. So that's flamingos. This is supposed to be lions. There's a little family of lions on the left. I'm actually it's doing the lions. Not done a lion in a while in the big puzzle. So that's the lions. That is orangutan, I think. Um, Mostly their edges. This is what I haven't sorted yet, and then my other sorted piles are in here. At my trusty giant Clementoni 6K box. So that I think is largely like eights. That is that's a specific leopard where I just recognize it. It's got a sort of a funny colour to it. It's like, well, it's cheetah, I think. It's like running in the foreground. So that's quite a small pile, very specific. This is flowers, pink and red. This is snakes. That is there's a lemur. Again, very specific pile, but for some reason the fur is just quite unique to that animal. So that's lemur. That's water. There's a lot of water in this puzzle. So there's a lot of pieces there. But this can be micro sorted into different shades of water, whether it's waterfalls, whether there's lots of bubbles, whether it's calm. It can definitely be micro sorted. So the water's a good pile I think I can work on, but I will need to micro sort it. This is sky and kind of sky transition pieces. This is bugs and birds here. And that's it. That's all I've got so far. I don't think I'm going to have any piles at this stage, any further piles of pieces. So it's a case of just sorting the rest of the pieces into one of these piles. Which is what I'm going to continue doing just now. So I'm going to have that box there because it's just easier to have it to hand, but my iPad is kind of in the way a wee bit, and I don't want it to fall off. So I'll finish going through this, and then I'll finish going through this. There is going to be some sorting on this in this video. I do apologise if you find the sorting boring, but I will try and make it informative and useful for you. as much as I can. So my initial plan, as I said, was to face sort this puzzle. That was partially because I just don't have a lot of time at the moment. I've been working on the big wildlife video, as you know. And I've also been trying to get used to new software. So I've been using the new software on my computer. Um, and I'm getting there with it. But it's just learning new things. It takes a lot of time at first till I get used to it, and then obviously my workflow gets a wee bit quicker and a bit more seamless. But I'm happy with it so far. I just never got chance. It was quite late yesterday, and I thought I'd better wrap it up. And I never got chance to record the outro, and I never got chance to put. I need to put like a bunch of pictures of where I'm at so far with the puzzle. So there's not much to do, but it was just too late to do it last night. But I'm sort of always reluctant to um put videos out on a Monday or Tuesday or just kind of a random weekday. I sort of feel like that affects the views on them. So that's why I'm considering delaying it slightly and doing a premiere on it on Friday. And we'll just have a fun get together and watch it. One thing I'm also adding to the birds and bugs pile is flowers. And the reason for that is because the flowers tend to be brightly coloured, and so are the birds and bugs. So often missorts will happen with the bright colours, if that makes sense. The only flowers I haven't sorted in that pile are the pink ones. They're just very obvious, and the red hanging ones. And they get their own piles in the big puzzle too. The pieces in this puzzle are bigger than in the big one. They're also more varied in shape. There are two in, two out pieces. In fact, looking at it now, there's quite a lot of them. I say they're more varied in shape. I might actually be wrong about that. There's several wavy formations. Um, so let's see. There's a wavy there that goes in. There's one that goes out. Um, I thought there were actually more. Maybe there's not. Maybe there's not that much of a variety. I'm sure there was in the life puzzle, but this puzzle's older. So okay, so yeah, I take that back. Not a massive amount of variety in shapes. Lots of wavies, different formations of wavies. Um, and these pieces are bigger they're more square than the giant one. So but I don't know. Let's see with piece shape variety. It is nice. It is refreshing to get good piece shape variety. It is nice. But I very quickly get used to it, and I stop noticing it. Um, you know, I just sort of mentally clock it. And maybe there isn't. I actually think that these are all the same shapes that are in the giant one, but they're not. They're not as small, and they're not as obviously elongated. A bit more square in shape. I don't think I've found a double wavy yet. So this one is not as varied as the life puzzle, but again, this one's older. Um, so that could be a factor. I also think these pieces are just slightly more shiny than the life puzzle. There's quite a shiny finish on these pieces. But they are nice and thick, which is good. I will say this about shiny. Oh, that's not the right pile. I will say this about shiny pieces, and that is that the image, the vibrancy and the color tends to pop. more in shiny pieces. So I think this is going to look great. But as a general rule, I prefer working with more matte finish pieces. So I'm getting there with it. So one of the things that I've been finding when you're dealing with a scaled down version of an image, it can be quite a different experience, even though it's the same puzzle. What you certain sections that might have been easier in the larger puzzle actually work out to be harder in the smaller puzzle. So, like for example, let's say the birds and the bugs. They're generally quite an easy part to tackle in the large puzzle. The only sort of faff about the birds and bugs in the larger puzzle is that you end up with lots of little puzzle islands. But I mean, that's more a faff than anything. It's not. It doesn't make it harder. It's just kind of just means you end up with quite a bitty puzzle. But in that one, because it's so scaled up, a large butterfly is going to take up maybe a good 10 pieces, or a large parrot, same again. So you can recognize those pieces, you can put them together. In here, a large butterfly or parrot or something might only be one piece or two. Or there's like, and I mean, the teeny tiny bugs and butterflies and stuff are just within one piece, so you can't really even connect them to anything except whatever's in the background. So it's a case of that it's not as simple a pile to go at and put loads of bits together, because it just doesn't take up as much space on the piece. I'm hoping that makes sense. Now, I found the same with, like, let's use Disney Orchestra as an example. That was the first puzzle I ever did a mini me on. They have a 1,000 piece mini me. And on the large one, I mean, it was the first large piece count I'd done anyway, so that one was a steep learning curve. But I thought, oh, look at all this red. That's an obvious section. I'll go for that first because that's what I'd normally do on a smaller puzzle. It'd be like, there's a chunk of that colour. I'll do that first. Of course, with Disney Orchestra, because it was so scaled up, there was so many reds. They became impossible to start with, and I realised I was going to have to do them at the end. So it was a lesson I learned very quickly. But I actually thought all the faces, all the audience was going to be really hard, and it wasn't. It was the easiest part of the puzzle to do. And yet, on the smaller puzzle, the curtains were just easy peasy, came together really fast. So it's can be a weird experience going from huge to small. Um, and I'm finding that I am amalgamating features. So, like, instead of having a pile of elephant pieces, I've got elephants, rhinos, and hippos all, in the same pile. So yeah, it's gonna pose its own challenges, let's say. But I think it's gonna be fun. So I'm hoping all that makes sense. My eyes are drawn to flamingos at the moment and also sky, because I sort of, when I'm sorting, I try to think of where I might start on a puzzle. And I'm drawn to the sky, I'm drawn to the lions, I'm drawn to the flamingos, the zebra, small piles like usual, but also um just distinctive ones, ones that I know I'm unlikely to have sorted it wrong. So that's the way my mind's working at the minute. I might also do the edges and just have them ready to add as and when, rather than keeping them to the end. I think that's just a good pile to go at and put together. So like there, so there's a butterfly on that piece. So I could put that in the birds and butterflies, but there's not going to be much on the neighbouring pieces that make up that bird, that butterfly, if anything, because it's right on the kind of the border of it. So I'm just thinking I might just put that in there. It's mostly green pieces left in here. Surprise, surprise. That probably won't change. The green will probably come last, as normal. In some cases on these pieces, I can see there's a bit of animal in it, but I can't. There's not enough for me to be able to tell what the animal is. So I'm just chucking them in here. I'm not going to fret over it too much. But I'm hoping my knowledge of the larger puzzle helps me with this. I think it will. I think it will. And I also think it makes a difference as well. These are just thought processes I've had over the time I've been doing this. I think it makes a difference when you're dealing with a collage as opposed to one continuous image. So, like in the case of the Disney Orchestra, that's one of the reasons it made a difference, and the same in the case um of wildlife. I think that goes in there. If you are like, so for example, the playing cards puzzle, I did the 1,000 piece version of that, and the big one was 6,000 pieces, and it was so easy to recognize. Like I picked it up, I instantly recognized what card it went with. The given piece that I'd picked up. I just knew, and I knew the placement of the cards pretty well by that point because I'd done the puzzle, the big puzzle. So it just came together so fast, and I was like, "Gosh, that was easy." Like it was, I did it very quickly because of that experience with the larger puzzle. Well, if that was like one giant playing card, I don't think that would have been the case. Because I would have been dealing with small parts of a bigger image instead of small parts of lots of smaller images. Does that follow what I'm trying to say? Like it definitely makes a difference when it's collage because you're dealing with something that's scaled down within a larger collage. I don't know if that follows, if you're following what I'm meaning there, but it definitely makes a difference as well. And these are just things I've just kind of come across as I've been doing larger and smaller versions of puzzles. Now then, I'm getting sorting fatigue now, so I suspect this is getting a little lax now. But never mind. It'll get fixed. I know it'll get fixed. I'm not too worried about that. I think they go in there. There are some pieces where I'm just not certain, but looks like it might go in that pile, so that's what I'm doing. Let's put that in there and that one in there. So this is my remaining in the bag. Grab another couple of handfuls. Bless the fridge gods. Otherwise, something worked. Was it the dial? Barry Falls. Do you know of him? Don't think I do. Barry Falls? No, I've never heard that name. No, just time I guess. Still have ice cubes in bags in the fridge. They haven't thawed yet. Hope it's the fridge working and not just them cooling. Oh, I see what you mean. Yeah, hard to tell. Morn after Eve, Claire. How are you? So late, just back from line dance. Ooh, nice. Nice. Hello, line dancer. Yes. Uh, love it. Um, time to sort my puzzle. Yay! You're gonna start your puzzle, you. I think I give up resisting making a quick Ramen soup. It's so cold today. Oh, that sounds nice. Oh yeah. Soup's a good thing. Great thing on a cold day. I'm also freezing, just made some Kit Kat cocoa with my Dolce Gusto. Oh, that sounds nice too. Can't say I've ever had Kit Kat cocoa. It rolls off the tongue quite nicely, doesn't it? Kit Kat cocoa. My pieces are so dusty. Yeah, I can't really remember. It's been a while since I've done a puzzle you, but yeah, I think there was a bit of dust. Sounds delicious. I might be so cold I could probably hug my fridge to get it to cool. Yes. Be the ice cube. Hello, Clark. Hello from Dallas, Texas, USA at 7 a.m. Oops, I messed up and arrived late. I blame Outback Puzzler for posting a new video. Lol. I wonder if she knows she's involved in the blame game now. Yeah, but I only started half an hour ago, 37 minutes ago. So it's not too bad. It could be worse. Could be worse. Could be just finishing. Um, it is funny, so we have a good laugh at ourselves trying to be coordinated, really making a mess of the dance, but it's exercise. Yeah, exactly. It's really good exercise too. Like, see, I get more exercise doing the line dancing than I do teaching ballroom dancing. I just dance more, and it's non-stop. It's great. It's a really great form of exercise. Have we discussed the pronunciation of Educa yet? It seems like I've been saying it wrong all this time. Yeah, I think I have too, Clark. We haven't discussed it yet. No, I have been talking about large puzzles versus small puzzles. I've had a wee chat about sorting and the difference between sorting, you know, smaller versions of giant puzzles and what difference it makes if it's a collage, that kind of stuff. Just really been chatting about that because I am, in fact, still sorting this puzzle, Clark. I confessed earlier before you came on that I. All right, that looks like feathers, so I'll put that in there. I confessed earlier that I hadn't finished sorting this. I only started it a couple of hours ago, maybe 2.5 hours ago. I'm quite far through. I mean, I was past halfway, but I still have to finish. So, unfortunately, we're going to have to put up with some sorting on the live stream. But as I said, it was a good excuse. I was working on. I don't know where to put that one. I'll put it there. I was working on the video for the giant wildlife, which I am now hoping to post as a premiere on Friday because I plan to finish editing it either today or tomorrow. It's almost done. Just got to add the outro, and I'm so excited that I'm almost finished the puzzle. I can't wait to see it together. I really can't wait. And that's going to take some arranging because I think I'm obviously going to need to go to the hall that I use, that I actually teach dancing in. And what I've been doing, so in that hall that I teach dancing in, where I lay out the puzzles and take pictures, there's a stage at one end. And what I've been doing is I've been laying it out um, widthways. And then you can stand on the stage to get some height and take pictures. And like take time lapses of putting it together and stuff. At this point, I think this puzzle is too wide for that room and it will have to go lengthways. But of course, there is no stage going lengthways down the room. So I definitely have to think about how I'm going to put it all together, how I'm going to film it. Um, I'll need time, I'll need time to actually really showcase the puzzle. So that's gonna be a project on its own, I think. And that will be a separate video I'll put the whole thing together in a separate video. And what I said at the end of section 7 was that I was going to not put all the sections together again until it was done. So I did put sections 1 to 7 together, and then I built section 10. Skipped a couple of sections, and I built section 10, and now I'm doing 8 and 9. So it'll be the first time you've seen it all together until like since section 7. I'm so excited! So excited! And this is kind of a celebration of finishing it, doing the smaller one. But oh my gosh, the amount of sorting I have had to do recently. You would think I can't get enough of sorting, but that is not the case. I really can get enough of sorting. Like, I really can. I still don't particularly like doing it. But yeah, I think at the moment I have 5 puzzles on the go. 5. Um, and 3 of those are large piece count. So, lots of sorting. And that's not even including around the world, which is still sitting in a box, all jumbled up. Now then, that might actually be flamingo. So yeah, I'm hoping you don't blame me too much for being a bit behind with all my sorting. Oh gosh, yeah, I have to have a break from it sometime. If I was smart and driven, I'd have a day just dedicated to sorting. But it's just not the kind of thing that drives me, I'm afraid. I love the building, not so much the sorting. I mean, the good thing is I'm getting good at it. I'm getting better and better and more efficient at sorting, I would say. But having said that, um, sorted this puzzle many times, the wildlife puzzle, I mean. So it feels a bit second nature, I guess. Let's say. Now there are some birds flying in the sky that I am never quite certain whether to put them in the sky pile or the birds pile, and I've done a bit of both, I think. So I think it might have been better to put the birds with sky behind them in the sky pile, because a lot of the birds and bugs have green behind them, and I think that would distinguish them a bit better. But I've done what I've done. And I can always have a couple of piles on the table at a time. So if I know where the missing pieces are likely to be, I know I've got that pile to hand to just grab them. I do that a lot with large piece counts. I'll have another pile to hand for gap filling purposes, really. Uh, I'll talk about the pronunciation of Educa in a minute. I just say it in Danish, same as Ravensburger. I say Ravensburger as it's pronounced in German. So for years, I didn't know it was pronounced Ravensburger, and so I would just call it Ravensburger because that's how it's how it looks as a British person. And then obviously found out that it's actually pronounced Ravensburger, and so I tried to make an effort to pronounce it properly, and now I'm more used to saying Ravensburger, so it rolls off the tongue a bit better. But can't even say how much I love being back to Moments. Oh, I'm so glad. I'm so glad. I'm glad you're back to it. You're using your sorting trays, Neve. That's good. That's good. I've got sorted trays now. I really like them. I'm pronouncing it right for English, just not for Spanish. Yeah, so the word educa, like I say it like the start of the word education, I guess. But I mean, it's a very English way of saying the word, so that's how I say it, educa. But apparently, and I have heard it pronounced like this, but I don't hear it pronounced like this very often. It's apparently it's if you say it in the Spanish way, it's Educa. I mean, I suppose it is a Spanish company, so I suppose um that ought to be the way I say it, but I'm not Spanish. Then again, I'm not German either, but I do say Ravensburger. So yeah, it's. I think with Educa, it's going to be hard for me to adjust on that one. I'm in the middle of sorting too with section 7 of Educa. Just say both. Around the world puzzle. Um, are you finding the sort on this one harder, easier, or the same difficulty? But imagine the sky's a bit easier to navigate in that section. Maybe the Spanish is something like Educa. Educa. See, the word duke, I'd say it duke. Any sorting is too much sorting. I know. So I've got the 7,000 piece six portals on the go. And I mean, granted, I'm doing it in the sections. So let's say there's 3,500-ish pieces there to get through. This is 3,000 pieces. Wildlife, the two sections I'm doing makes up 6,720 pieces. Although I have finished sorting those, but I've got some micro sorting to do on that. Um, the Thursday live stream puzzle, that's only 1,000 pieces, and I've finished sorting that. Um, I've actually got a Ravensburger 1,000 piece puzzle that's halfway done. That one I've mostly been shuffling. But it just seems like everywhere I look, I've got sorting to do. I do it to myself. I'm not going to complain. I do it to myself. Um, but sometimes when your choice is after a full day editing, when your choice is, do I sort this puzzle or do I chill on the couch and play my PlayStation? It's a no-brainer. So, so I do apologise. It's past halfway done when I started this, and it is a good excuse to talk about sorting and for people to see my sorting process. Um, with large piece counts, when I'm doing them on the board, I have a lot of space. So what I would generally do is pour all the pieces out onto the table and just pull a wee bit forward, sort, pull a wee bit forward, sort, and all the pieces will be out. Because this one I'm live streaming, I probably would have done this if I was doing a video on this puzzle. Because I'm live streaming this, I don't have as large a space to just pour them all out. My piles would be way off over in the distance on the left and the right, and you wouldn't even be able to see them. So that's why in this case I'm just grabbing a smaller pile of the larger bunch and doing a little pile at a time, just so you can see where I'm at. And you can mostly see all my piles. You can't see some of the ones in this box, but I have been able to describe them to you. Um, so in a way, it's kind of a good way to show how to tackle big puzzles. When you don't have a great deal of space. Really, what I'm trying to do is utilize the space that you can see within the camera and a wee bit at the side. I mean, mostly on the right hand side, I have my iPad sitting, and mostly on the left, I just have boxes of pieces sitting. So the actual puzzling takes place in a relatively small area. So it for sure can be done, and I'm building this on. It's not right. I'm building this on foam boards, like I did with Life. A2 foam boards. I tend to use large boxes to keep my pieces in. If I wanted to use trays, which I totally could, I'd need probably slightly larger trays than the ones I have, and I'd need more of them. The ones I have are great for maybe like 1,000, 2,000 piece puzzles. Um, but like some of the piles would be quite big on those trays. So from this puzzle, so I've gone with my trusty Clementoni box because they are big boxes. That's just unsorted stuff. So, but you do have to watch that they don't all kind of merge into each other, the piles. That does happen sometimes as well. Ooh, Lima. So like what I was talking about before, when you have missorts and you know where the missorts might be, I believe that's going to be the case with my elephant, rhino, hippo pile and my orangutan and lion piles. Because they're mostly brown, but these have more yellow and orange to them. But in some cases, so do these. It depends on how the light's hitting the animal. Um, so again, it's handy to have them nearby just to fill gaps. And they're not really humongous, so but yeah, anyway. And I've only got a few pieces left. When I have just not many left, I try and pick out just kind of generic ones that I know I'm not going to sort and just speed things up a bit that way. I think that's a wing. I don't know what that is. So I hope this is informative and helpful. And I can only apologise that I never got sorting done in time. But that's okay. Yeah, but what I initially said about variety of piece shape, I was wrong. They're mostly 2 in, 2 out with several wavies. And the formations of the wavies are pretty standard. They're either in or they're out on one side. I've not seen any double wavies. So it's not the same cut as Life. But again, Life is a re-release, and this one is older. This one hasn't been re-released. As I said earlier, it's actually a hard to find puzzle now. So yeah, it's pieces are a wee bit different, but they do differ. So in the sense of shape variety, it's very similar to the big wildlife, but they're not as long and thin. You can orient the pieces with the big wildlife. You know which way they sit because they're longer and narrower, whereas these are a bit more square. I don't think it's going to be as obvious which way these pieces go. So that's that little pile done. Gonna grab another couple of handfuls out. How does one say Educa then? I I don't know. I feel like this whole is is correct for English and but not for Spanish. I don't know. I mean, is it supposed to be a Spanish word? Does that make sense? Like, if it's a Spanish company and it's a Spanish word, should I be saying it like a Spanish person does? But I don't. I feel like Educa's. I don't know. I feel like Educa. And then like, where's the emphasis? So, like, when I say Educa, the emphasis is on the ed. With Educa, it's on the do. So where's the emphasis? Or is it Educa? Is the emphasis still on the ed? It's an interesting question. Maybe we should ask someone at Educa. Educa. What do you think? Shame I don't have any Educa employees watching. Or maybe I do. Are you out there? Tell us. Tell us how to pronounce it. So another thing about sorting is it actually hurts my neck after a while because you spend a lot of elongated amount of time just looking down. So it's probably best to do it in short bursts, I must admit. But I'm brought this all on myself. I think that's a snake. I tend to forget about the snakes in these puzzles. Some of them are obvious, but some of them are green and they blend in. That like there'll be a green snake in the tree. So it's like you glance at it and you think, oh, that's just leaves, and it's not. It's a snake. And then when you find the pieces, it can be so confusing. I'm a bit more wise to it now, but that has got me a couple of times. I didn't put my phone on Do Not Disturb, and now I can hear it buzzing. It's a little off-putting, but never mind. Mm. I can give my neck a break by stopping and reading the chat. Sadly, giant puzzles are largely about sorting. Well, this is true. This is true. So it's not Educa. Oh, I didn't even know the K bit was an option. I pronounce it Educa. Educa. So it could be Ed or E. It could be Ka or K. It could be do or due. I mean, that's a lot of variations, isn't it? I think somebody needs to put us right on this one. But it's hard to write how I say the E and A, since it's not how you would say it in English. Well, burger will be more like Burger in German. Oh, well, true. Yeah, that's true. I wouldn't say Ravensburger and just suddenly adopt a German accent for that one word. Um, I just say Ravensburger. So it's a very English way of saying it. I have a lot of white pieces because of the cat's fur. Oh yeah, that's how my cat puzzle was, the Grace puzzle. And in European Spanish, the D is almost a th. Yeah, so it could be Isuke. It's completely different. I know. Gosh, right. It could be just totally unrecognizable to what everybody else has been saying. I will have three puzzles on the go soon. I'll have 5,000, 3,000, and 1,500. Yes! You make me feel less crazy, Slitherpuff. Thank you. I'm similar. Portals need sorting. Moments, I'm now at a point where I'm going through more systematically sorting because what most stands out has been done or picked already now. And then the 6K and money. Yep. These are my people. The multiple giant piece puzzlers. I like it. Luckily, the latter two are already sorted. Yeah. We'll focus on moments, portals, and 6K until 6K is done, I think. Yeah. I mean, thankfully, I can just kind of put them away once I've done live streaming, and once the initial sort's done, it's fine. It's fine. I use trays that are used when baking cookies. Oh yeah, some people use baking trays. I've heard that before. And they're a bit bigger as well, aren't they? I sorted section 4 by pouring it out onto one big pile. I'm sorting section 7 like you are doing here. Oh, okay. So why the difference, Clark? Just out of interest. I'm sorting 2, so it's okay. Yeah. I mean, I will sort 1,000 piece puzzles sometimes. I did that with the Reverie. I put an explanation on Discord. The stress is on the middle syllable. Right. So it's either Educa or Educa. But it could be E and it could be K. Educa probably doesn't care how you pronounce their name. They care if you buy their puzzles, lol. Yeah, probably the same with Ravensburger. We cannot hear your phone with your awesome microphone. Yeah, no, it's on silent anyway. It's just that when I put it on Do Not Disturb, I don't hear it buzzing. Can hear it buzzing. But yeah, the microphone's great. It's been one of my best buys. Um, Morning, Superman. Good night, all. We'll leave the stream on my TV, but really need sleep. My sinus infection is knocking me for a loop. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that, Slitherpuff. Good night. Sleep well. I hope you managed to get some good sleep. Lots of Lots more reaching with the big pile in front of me and not enough room for the sorted pile. Yeah, exactly, exactly. Once you have more and more sorted piles, your little pile of two sort pieces becomes a bit squished, doesn't it? So yeah, I'm totally with you on that. Uh, Stick that one there. I wonder if I will have all of the edges. That'd be good if I do, once I've sorted. I did find one in there. So it's entirely possible I won't. But who knows? It's happened before, maybe once or twice. Um, Getting there, I'm getting there. I hope I get some building done today. I'm sure I will. I'm sure I'll get some building done. It feels nice getting another puzzle done and on the go. I mean, apart from having a puzzle YouTube channel and keeping the content varied and stuff, I feel like I want to do more of my puzzles. I know that sounds odd, but I have so many and so many great ones and so many that I want to do and try and get done. It just feels good getting through my collection, you know? And I have so many large ones that it's not easy to get through a collection of large piece counts. You know, it takes time. And it helps that I enjoy it too, of course. But it does feel good tackling some of my more middle ground piece counts, 3Ks, 2Ks, even 5Ks in some cases. I mean, that was a small part of the thinking behind Big City Collage too. I wanted to get one of my 5Ks done. I've got a lot of 5Ks, some I've had for a long time, and I wanted to do one of them. Because it's not a lie. I love all my puzzles, and I'm looking forward to all my puzzles. I noticed this when I edit puzzle haul videos. I always say I'm looking forward to that one, and it's true. I'm looking forward to all of them. It sounds a bit repetitive, um, but it's true. It's so true, and it feels good getting through the collection. And there are so many people want to see me do, and that I want to get to, and I will. But it's just sometimes it's the right time to do a puzzle. So this one, obviously, this came slightly later in my collection, but that's because it was hard to find. But I'm doing it now because it fits in nicely with my larger wildlife puzzle, which is almost done. Have I said that already? I'm almost finished my big wildlife puzzle. I think I might have said that already. I'm just so excited. Right. Again, a bit of lazy sorting kicking in here. A lot ending up in the miscellaneous that I probably could have taken more time to think about, but I just want to get it done now. Just want to get it done. What that belongs to you. I think this is going to be a bitty build, just like the big one. Hope you know what I mean by bitty build. Lots of puzzle islands coming together. I think it's going to be. I think it's just because of the way the image is. There's that much spaced out all over the place, you know, and a lot of what gels it together is the background greenery and stuff. So you end up with lots of bits for a good long time until the the background starts to come together and it starts to all stick together. But then that's the really satisfying part of it when it all starts to come together. Oh, that's the lemur. I don't know, for some reason the lemur is quite small, but it's really noticeable. Like it's really recognizable, I should say. And you can even, like the black and white stripes, you can distinguish it from the zebra. Oh, oh, last bit. Think, assuming I can fit these on the table. Hope so. Maybe not. No, I will. I'll make them fit. Don't fall on the floor, don't fall on the floor. Oh, it's a couple of pieces. Go. Right, that's the bag empty. And I'm gonna have some water. Been talking a lot. My mouth's going dry. I put them away too. Don't keep them all out at once. Oh, is that your piles of pieces? Guys, does anyone have recommendations for decaf coffee? I really want to get away from Starbucks decaf if I can. Oh, I don't know. I don't know what's available in your country. Like, because here I'd say Costa's a decent coffee, but I don't think you have Costa over there. Um, so maybe the American folk might be better to help you with that one. Hello, Lex Luthor. Are you plotting new evil at work? I'll never tell. I'm imagining that that's what you're doing right now, SS. Just a big mwaha evil belly laugh. I have to go to sleep, work tomorrow. Thank you, Vicky and everyone. Good night. Oh, good night, Claire. Sleep well. Sweet puzzle dreams. Yep. Been watching most of last weekend's stream. Can't believe I've missed two in a row. Damn our need for sleep. I know. I know. This is it. Gets in the way of puzzling. Work and sleep. Oh, mm. I'm also using containers this time while sorting. I had issues with my sorted piles getting mixed together with my 6,000 pieces. Yeah, that happens with me sometimes too. Once I hit 30s, I get a tight sleep by 9 p.m. schedule. Yeah, my sleep patterns are all over. I tend to enjoy staying up late, but I stay up later than I should. Um, and then, but like I can lie in on quite a few days, not every day, but quite a few days. Now I don't do the lolly. But even when I intend to, I get woken up. But like the cat wakes me up a lot now, like more than he used to, which can be very frustrating. So I just need to be more strict with myself and go to sleep sooner. Um, SS, no, you had a question for me. Where is it? Uh, Vicky, are you full-time content creator now? Not quite. So mostly, like this has the highest proportion of my time, which is good. That's the direction I want to go. But I also teach dance classes, so I do that twice a week. I do line dancing on a Wednesday, and I do ballroom and Latin on a Monday night. So there's that, and then I have so at the school that I used to do the lollipop job at, I there's like an after school club there. It's like a separate employer to the school staff, because it's like a parent run thing. It just happens to be at the school. And twice a week for a couple of hours on a Tuesday and Friday I do that. So it's almost full time, but not quite. I mean, ideally, it'd be good to eventually be able to let that go. And with dancing, I don't like it's one of the ways I earn money, but it's a bit like the puzzling, I guess. It's sort of a hobby too. I really enjoy it. Um, Not that I don't enjoy the after school club, but that's more of a job, if that makes sense. So, and it's also, I'm employed, and paid to do those hours. So it's different in terms of this, and the dancing really is self-employed work. So, I mean, it's good to have that stability, but in between all that, a single mama, which obviously is something that I have to put time into as well. Again, not saying it's a chore or a job, it's just keeps me busy. It all keeps me busy. And I think the nature of it all being here, there, and everywhere, I it sounds like a cliche, but I feel like my life's a bit of a puzzle sometimes. It's slotting it all together isn't always that easy. Um, tends to get complicated when I need appointments and stuff, extra things to fit in. And somebody's like, "Well, what time's good for you?" And I have to sit there and really think. I can't do that, and I can't do that, and I might have 2 hours between this and that, and it's just like, ugh. So yeah. So, in answer to your question, not quite, but almost. SS. Hope that makes sense. I have that feeling too, particularly for larger. That's been lying for a couple of years now, like Tropical Impressions. Yeah, I feel bad for Portals. I haven't worked on it for almost 2 weeks. No, but life happens, doesn't it? You've just gotta. Sometimes it comes first, sometimes it takes over a bit. It says, "Oh, you, it's time to focus on me a bit now." I bet I know. It's frustrating too. It's frustrating too. You're probably still further along than I am, though, Soul. Right, this is the last batch of pieces, and I really just want to get them sorted now. So I may speed up and be a little more, or a little less accurate, shall we say? Right now, I'm just trying to concentrate on them not falling into other piles. Uh, because this is quite a big pile. I just wanted to empty the bag. I'm very excited at the prospect of being featured in one of Rose's puzzles, especially my dancing side being featured. It's been making me remember a lot. I've been getting quite nostalgic about the dancing recently. So I've been doing it several years. Um, and I'm trying to think of good footage that Rose could maybe use that I could send her so that she's got a reference. And a lot of it, I think, a lot of the good stuff that will help her to put it together is probably the stuff from when I was younger. Because it's a funny thing with ballroom and Latin. I've never actually had a dance partner. It's a partnership style of dancing. You know, you have a man and a lady. There's men steps, lady steps. I know that women dance together now and men dance together, and that's fine. But there's still one set of steps and the other set of opposing set of steps. And I've always just been one person doing it. So I've only ever danced either with my dance teacher or with my mum or with my dad, sometimes with my sister really early on when I was a lot younger. My sister did it for a bit as well. So I danced with her. She's probably the closest thing I ever had to a dance partner. But she doesn't do it now. And so now I demonstrate with one of the there's a couple that I teach that are good friends of mine, and I just use one of the I use the lady to demonstrate with. Like apart from some small snippets of demonstration, I'm really just instructing. I'm just sort of standing there instructing. That's why line dancing's so um good because because it's a solo thing, solo style of dance. That's green. I thought that was a bit of snake there, and it's not. It means I can just dance it, and I don't need a partner. And yeah, I can call the steps out while I'm dancing. That's why it's so knackering. It's actually really hard trying to dance and shout at the same time because often I have to try and make myself heard with the music. I don't tend to use um microphone. It's just another piece of tech to go wrong. I was thinking this earlier. I've got some really good tech for doing the channel. I want to make sure it's good and professional and that I have all the best technology. or at least as good as I can afford. But I feel with tech also, like the more you have, the more that goes wrong with it. So yeah. The thought of using a microphone and just adding another element of tech, I'm just like, no, I can't be bothered. Or just use my voice. But anyway, my original point that I was making there was that there's not much photographic evidence of me dancing with somebody more recently in my adult teaching life. So a lot of it exists from when I was a lot younger. Um, and I was learning. And then my mum has a lot of footage that I'm going to have to see if she still has. Maybe she can send it to me. All right, the water pile is quite large. In fact, I'd say it's the largest. So there's definitely going to need to be some micro sorting in there. And um, I mean, there's a few larger piles, but not too bad. The water pile is a micro sort I can do at a later time, on or off camera. I don't think it matters really. Maybe off. Definitely drawn to these flamingos. There's a lot of flamingos. I always like the sections in on the larger puzzle with flamingos in. It's just such an obvious pile to sort. Pink equals flamingo. Some frogs have ended up in the birds and bugs pile because again the frogs are quite brightly coloured. So I maybe think it's a brightly coloured bug or something, and it's not. It turns out to be a frog. Actually, I've had that a couple of times in the most recent larger version. In the two sections, that's a zebra, and that's another good one. Zebra, you can always tell the zebra pieces, always. When I did enter in the bedroom, apart from the edge, zebra was the very first thing that I built. You just home in on it; it's so obvious. Some dark pieces getting chucked in there. I'm not entirely sure what they're from. So I'd say that's mostly green and with some dark pieces, like what's left over. So, like I said earlier, it's a phased sort, but it's quite a detailed phased sort. It's more of an almost full sort. Um, the phased sort I did on Bizarre Town was definitely more phased than this. I did about 5 phases on that, I think, of sorting. This, I think, is only going to need 2 or 3. That's neat. I am having flashbacks with some of these pieces, like earlier sections that I did, and I'll recognize the pattern on a snake and go, "Oh, was that snake? I remember you." Like greeting an old friend. Not that I would greet a snake. I don't mind snakes, but I'm not a huge fan of them either, really. Pretty sure that was frog, but that can go in the birds and bugs. That's scary. Bit of crocodile there. Some of the bits of crocodile are very obvious. You can actually see teeth, but they're not. There's only one in this. Yeah, there's just one, so it's going to be easy to pick out, I think. That's a flamingo. I won't be sorry to see the back of those pink flowers. I have to be honest. All right, seeing the big puzzle, the pink flowers are a bit of a pain to build because they're small. So you can get clusters of them together, but it's a bit like with the birds and bugs. Like they tend to be quite bitty. You might get a cluster of two or three, and then you might just get two, and you might get a whole bunch. And it's always better if you can build a good chunk of the puzzle. But those pink flowers, they work better as gap fillers if you do them at the right time. But I have to say, I won't. They're probably a bit of that puzzle that I won't miss. Tiny pink flowers. I think that's a bird. A bird. That is a giraffe. It's getting smaller. Thank goodness. And sometimes I have a complete memory blank where I've put the pile of pieces. I'm like, wait a minute, where's the sky gone? Ah, I think I'm just fatiguing of sorting now. That goes with that one. Third, water. Third, I think. Oh, right. I will probably, once the stream is done, I will probably get another box and spread the pieces over two boxes because I'm definitely in danger of stuff getting mixed up here. You can tell I'm eager to get started. Both hands are getting involved now. It's a fly. Come on, come on, come on. I just want to build. Some of the water pieces are very different looking. Like you can still tell it's water, but some will be a bright, bright blue. Some will be green. You can tell it's water because there's like ripples or a lily pad or something. Some of it will be white. Some is even purple because it's like reflecting something. Not sure about that. So the water pieces are very varied. Like there's definitely going to be a micro sort involved in that pile. Oh, drink of water needed. Oh my god. It took me 6 tries to understand your comment. I thought you meant 30 seconds and couldn't understand what you were talking about. Oh, right. I think you meant 30s, like the decade, like in your 30s, like the age. That's how I interpreted it. So, haha. Visit Sweet Maria's Coffee and Roast slash grind your own coffee. Lots of great decaf choices. Ooh, that sounds like a good idea. Is that a chain then, Sweet Maria? I assume it is, because I don't think SS is in Texas, is she? Oh, unless it's an online thing. No worries, my English is terrible. It's the only language I speak too. Thanks for the tip, Superman. I'll check that out. Here, the problem is I go to bed when my son has to sleep, since he sleeps in my bed, and often I just feel so tired I just fall asleep with him. Sometimes I carefully leave the bed and room. Yeah, but you do have to. Sleep patterns very often are worked around a small child, aren't they? Because they have such specific sleep needs, and they change a lot, like quite quickly as they get older. It's really a case of rolling with the punches on that score. Vicky, oh, I know how you feel. I've been a Les Mills body attack instructor. Oh, right. And my God, that was tough. Having to do all the cardio moves and still talk and teach the class whilst being enthusiastic. Yeah, exactly. And you get breathless. Like, in my throat hurt. Like, once I didn't do a class because I my throat was sore and I was losing my voice. Like, no, I wasn't losing my voice, but my throat felt sore. It felt like there was a sore throat coming on, and physically I felt like I could still dance. But I thought, if I spend an hour just shouting, or teaching, um, my voice will be gone by the end. And so I cancelled it just because I knew what it was going to do to my voice. Um, So yeah, it's not easy. It's not easy. It's fun, but not easy. As far as sorting goes, when I did If Fish Could Walk, I did a phase sort. Then I shuffle sorted. That puzzle was so much fun. Now I've got that puzzle as well. Gosh, that's another one I really want to do. Sweet Maria's is online. Oh, okay. Yeah, got you. Um, Liza, hello. Good morning, afternoon, evening, friends. Oh, this is early for you too, isn't it? What is it, 6 a.m. where you are, Liza? Gosh, thank you for being here. Are you up early for work or what? What's happening with you today? Right, let's get this little pile sorted and then I'm done. Oh, thank goodness. Thank goodness. I hope you, as I say, apologies, I never got it sorted beforehand. But I hope you've appreciated the sorting talk. I hope it's helped. Uh, it's actually interesting. I was reading on Discord something that Purple Cat was saying, and I don't think Purple Cat's here at the moment, is she? Um, yeah, no, I have today and tomorrow off for Veterans Day. Yeah, cool. That's good. So, how come you're up so early? I mean, I'm glad you're here. Don't get me wrong. I'm very glad you're here. Or are you just an early riser, Liza? Early riser, Liza. That rhymes. Yeah. So, what I was saying, that it was a conversation about wasgage, I think, and wasgage, as you know, what you're puzzling isn't the same as what's on the box. And it never really occurred to me, but um, Purple Cat was saying that what slowed her down at the beginning was that she tried to sort. But actually, sorting becomes quite tricky when you don't have an image to work off. How do you know what you're sorting into? And I thought, oh, that's really interesting. And I'd never really thought about it because, see, always in the past, mortgages I used to do when I was younger. Like they were like before I ever had a channel when I just did puzzles, just however I did them. But I didn't know there was any other way to puzzle really. I just used to not face sort. I used to shuffle. I just used to shuffle. I used to shuffle them around in the box, pick out as many edges as I could, and I'd usually do the edges first, and then um, and because it was a shuffle, I never got them all, but I just pulled them out, found them as and when. Then I'd shuffle and find a bunch of just let's just say red or I would notice what seemed to be predominant in in the pile of pieces, and I would just grab a bunch of those out and start putting those together, and then I'd shuffle a bit more, and that's how I used to build them. So there was never really an agenda with Wasgages because it was just back in the early days of my puzzling, and that's just how I used to puzzle. I never ever used to sort. It never occurred to me to sort first. My granddad always used to want to flip the pieces over. I think, given the opportunity, because I used to do puzzles with my granddad sometimes, and I think given the opportunity, he would have been a full flipper. But I could never be bothered with that. It was too much work. I just wanted to grab them, and then eventually, when I'd not got as many pieces left, then I would turn them over. But he used to be like, turn them over, and I'd be like, can't be bothered. It's interesting. Like sorting becomes extremely difficult when you don't have a image to work off. And I do look at the image first, but I don't tend to be super meticulous with a plan. I just have a rough idea. If I plan, generally I end up not following the plan anyway. But yeah, I would. That would be a challenge if I had a large piece count and I didn't know what it was. I didn't know what it was. If somebody just handed me a bag of pieces and said, "Here's a 3,000 piece puzzle," I'm not going to tell you which one it is. I mean, I could probably work out what the brand is and stuff. Um, but I have no idea what the puzzle is. I would struggle to sort it. I think I'd either have to full flip or I'd have to I don't know, just shuffle or something. Or I could attempt to try and sort it. I mean, if it was one from my collection, I might be able to work out which puzzle it is, but I wouldn't be able to look. That would be the challenge. I wouldn't be able to look at the box. Oh, I've seen my cogs are turning now in my brain. I'm like, oh, that'd be a fun challenge. I could get one of my kids to pick a large piece count, and I'll do it without looking at without looking. Do you think that'd be fun? What do you think, folks? That actually sounds quite fun to me. Um, Anyway, that was my story. I thought it was quite interesting reading what Purple Cat was saying about difficulty sorting when you don't have a picture to work off, which is the case with Wasgitch. Right, so not got many pieces left, so I'm just pulling out sort of generic greens, putting them in here. I do have a lot of pieces sorted here, so that's pretty good. I actually really want to do that now. No, Vic, wait till you've got some puzzles finished. Or I could Do that on a live stream. I don't know how I'd make the thumbnail. Mystery puzzle. Live streaming the build of a mystery puzzle. I actually love that idea. You think I'm crazy? It's okay if you do. I also think I'm a bit crazy. Uh, I'm seeing pieces and thinking that looks like it might be a piece of the large giraffe, but there aren't any large giraffes on this. The giant giraffes on the big puzzle are actually cut off this puzzle. They're on the far right. Well, ish far right. They're in section 9. Um, it's easy to pick up a piece and think, oh, that might belong to, something I'm working on in a big puzzle, but that doesn't make any sense because 8 and 9 are literally not represented in this puzzle at all. Uh, so yeah. Oh, that's an edge. Sometimes it's easy to mistake wavies for edges. I've done that more than once, although the wavies in this puzzle are more wavy than the wavies in the big puzzle, if that makes sense. Okay, sorting done. At least all I'm going to do just now. Oh, only took an hour and a half on the stream, and whatever time it took before that. So they're just not sorted. Mostly greens, quite a few dark pieces in there as well. So I'm going to put those out of the way. And these ones in the box are just bigger versions of what I showed you earlier. I've not started any new piles. And I deliberately put these in the box and left out these because I thought maybe I would work on these first, although I might have to move some to one side. Um, so I'm gonna put the edges in front of me. These are the edges. I'm gonna move these over here. They're my spotty animals. So there's a lot of giraffe and leopard slash cheetah pieces here. I think I'm gonna keep the zebra and the flamingo handy. These I'm gonna move over here. That's the orangutan and the lions mostly. These I'm gonna move a bit further over here. They're my rhino, elephant, hippo bits and bobs. And I'll put these in the middle because I think I'm going to work on these ones. But I'm going to start with the edge, which I'll just put that together in rows, and I'll do a wee what is that method called? Mallory method, and transfer them onto the A2 boards. I don't actually have the pieces on the A2 boards yet, but when I come to do these, I'll probably transfer them onto a board. But let's get these edges together first. A little bit like I've been doing with six balls. I mean, it doesn't really matter to me whether I do edges first. I'm not a stickler for doing the edges first. A lot depends on the puzzle. Sometimes, if my tin that I put the edges in usually is being used, sometimes I just stick them together because I don't really know where else to put them. Um, I don't very often sort edges into other piles. That doesn't happen very often. Um, like that, for example, that's part of the lion, I think. I wouldn't sort that into the lion pile because it's an edge. I would just keep the edges as edges. I don't know. They're just such an obvious way to narrow down choices in a puzzle that it seems to make sense doing that. First two pieces together. lion. So that's good. These water pieces are relatively obvious too. We've got some flamingo. So these water, this is quite dark, murky water in the foreground. So it's sort of purple, but there's like some pink and orange reflection in it because there's a flamingo standing. So, I mean, the flamingos are so handy to have in this puzzle because they're just so bright and obvious. The water's pretty obvious, I have to say. Sometimes there's a lily pad in the water, breaks it up a wee bit. Red flowers there. Now then, where I don't recall those. Probably about section 5 in the bigger puzzle, I would say, if I'm remembering rightly. Because it's taken me so long to do the big wildlife. Like, I can't believe it's been 3 years. That's just insane. Since the unboxing video, that is. Which was, not. I mean, I was in a whole different flat when I did the unboxing video to when I did section 1. I was here when I did section 1. I was in my previous flat when I did the unboxing video. Yeah, but gosh, yeah, 3 years since I first got this puzzle. There's a bit of sky there. Now then, that is the back of the rhino, I think. Oh, that's not even an edge piece. How that got in there? Flowers there. That's not an edge piece either. I could put down there in that one. Now then, there. Is there? There. Oops. That goes over this side. Oh, excuse me. It's a bit dusty. Hmm. This puzzle. I mean, Educas, they do have dust. I've been able to do just dust drawings in Educa puzzles. So this one's a wee bit dusty. Does it go there? Yes, it does. Who thinks that I have got all the edge pieces here? I'll take wages. I honestly don't know. I'm inclined to think I haven't. Just purely based on the fact that I've found 2 non-edge pieces in this part. So in all likelihood, I have missorted some somewhere along the line. There. That one. It's a lot more open on this right side than it is on the left. Right, so they go above that. Goes there. That goes at the bottom. Like the tree, there's like not as much foliage. It's much more closed off on the left side. So I'm pretty certain with lighter coloured pieces like that I'm working on with right side pieces. Oh, that might be a left side piece. That's the top. Right, I really should look and see what people's thoughts are on a. Oh yes, that must be trickier. Do you build as you go? Sometimes I do that. Yeah, sometimes. I would pick Hawaii viewpoint for you, lol. That's cruel. Thankfully, I don't have that puzzle, so I wouldn't get my kids to pick that one. I would probably do it on like a 2 or a 3,000 piece. That one, that kind of challenge. Don't think I would do it on a 5K. Do it, Vicky. Let the kids pick your next big piece puzzle. That would be fun to watch, but not to do myself. Haha. You think I am confused? Are you? What are you confused about, Sybil? Hello, by the way. Do it with the first bag of a large puzzle and then do the rest normally. But the whole point is that I wouldn't know what puzzle it was. Like, I would have no idea. The only clue I'd have is that it would be one in my collection. So I might, unless I somehow got somebody to just send me one. But there is massive margin for being quite cruel to me with that, as Clark just demonstrated with the suggestion of the Hawaii viewpoint. Dear. Educa now has 1,000. Educa has new 1,000 piece mystery puzzles. Oh, nice. I think we're all crazy. Yeah, probably. Probably. We are. Where are people finding the Educa Wildlife 3000 Mini Me? I haven't seen that for sale at all. No, I was saying this earlier. It's hard to find now, Liza. It's been a wee while. I'm not sure what year it came out, but I know it's been out for a little while, and it's not easy to find now. This I got mine from Rare Puzzles. I spoke to Jorge at Rare Puzzles and said, "Can you add this to my look out for list?" And he got in touch with me and said, "I've got one," and I bought it. So yeah, it's not easy to find. You might find one on eBay, perhaps. That tends to be where you can, but you can't buy it new unless they re-release it. I don't know if they have plans to re-release it, but yeah, it's not easy to find. Morning, been lurking and working, but that sounds like a great idea. Oh, thank you, Stephanie. How are you? It took years for Vicky to find this puzzle. Yeah, it's taken a while. Yay, well done. Liza, there's a 500 piece version of the wildlife puzzle under the Sunset brand, Sun's Out brand. Yes, that's true. I keep forgetting about that. There's like a mini me name African Mural. Good choice for your kids would be the 18,000 magical bookcase. Imagine doing that without the image. Oh gosh. Clark, you're scaring me now. So far you've suggested Hawaiian viewpoint and magical bookcase. I don't think I'm that good. I really don't. Or maybe I am that crazy, but gosh, I think that would drive me more insane trying to do those without the image. I was thinking more along the lines of like, say, something like, I'm going to put the lid back on this for a second. Something like this one. Like if they handed this one to me, um, and said, as a mystery puzzle, I think that'd be fun. But I don't know, or even the Hogwarts cutaway, or I'd have to specify a piece count first. I think I'd have to say, um, right, out of these 2,000 piece puzzles, or out of these 3,000 piece puzzles, I think I'd have to specify a piece count. Um, oh gosh, yes, like yes, that's my thinking too. Winter. It's Monday. It is Monday. Is that what's got you confused? I'm live streaming on a Monday. It is indeed Monday. I'm just popping in to say hello to everyone. Thought the stream was going to be tomorrow. Philip. Yeah, I decided against Tuesdays. I can't remember why. I think Monday was better for me for some reason or other. Can't remember why, but yeah. Oh, I think it's because Tuesday's the day I do my after school club, so it means I have to sort of finish sharp, and I don't really like. It's nicer and more leisurely doing live streams where I feel like I don't have to rush off, you know. And you call me the bad guy. Ah, I know. These are ideas worthy of Lex Luthor. We'll catch up with the stream later. Oh, no problem, Philip. Sorry about that. Yeah, no, I decided on Mondays. And yes, it's Monday, Sybil. I'm doing a third live stream on wildlife, and they'll be on Mondays rather than Tuesdays. I did Penelope Waits on a Tuesday. Um, but I mean, it wouldn't have mattered back then because I was doing Lolly back then, so there was always going to be a day when I'd have to nip off. But that goes on the left. Um, but yeah, that's why I'm here today. So confusing everybody. Mm. Gosh, there are a lot of green pieces in this puzzle. Talk about stating the obvious. Right, does this go bottom right? Yes, I think it does. And that, oh, it doesn't go there. Goes there. What is that? Is that rhino? I think that might be rhino. Right, there's a giraffe above that. I mean, I suppose if the thing is, with doing that challenge with one of my puzzles that I already own, um, I would very quickly know which one it was once I started it, and I would do it without the image, but in a way, I think it would be more fun if I didn't own the puzzle. But then I'd have to get somebody to get one for me. Can maybe ask Matt to do that. Um, he's asleep right now, so he doesn't know what he's in for. But like, I mean, obviously, I would send the money, but the thing that would be, I would have to specify that you're not too mean, and I think it would. I don't think it could be one bag of a larger piece count because it would be kind of a one-off. challenge, smaller challenge. A large, like an 18K, then once I'd done the first section, I'd be dedicated to doing the whole of the rest of it, which is fine, but I don't have a lot of space in my schedule for an 18K at the moment because I've already got like a whole queue of puzzles already lined up. So I think it would need to be a smaller one that I could slot in, if that makes sense. I'm hoping that makes sense. But I think if I didn't know at all what the image was and I didn't own it, I'd be guessing for longer, you know? So yeah, and then it could be any brand. Like it could be really wide ranging. So that would be interesting. But after your suggestions, Clock, I probably wouldn't ask you now. Magical bookcase, indeed. Oh dear. It's nice that you think I could do something like that. That would be so hard though. Oh dear. I'm not really a puzzler who relies on the image too much, I would say, but I definitely use the image in large piece counts. Definitely. There is no doubt about that. Does that go there? No, it does not. Does that? No, it does not. Yes. There. Mm, I'm beginning to think I don't have all the pieces here. That's conspicuous by its absence, that one. Top of the lion. I may have it. Could be that I've just not spotted it yet, but it's not jumping out at me. I kind of feel like it would. That goes at the top, I believe. The mossy rocks and things, they tend to be at the bottom. Can kinda tell the greenery at the bottom from the greenery at the top. Kinda. Not always, but most of the time. Now then, that is at the top. Oh no, it's at the side. It's on this side. It's actually quite near the top corner. So if that's there, that I'm getting a lot of the bottom together here. So let's try and figure this out. That goes that side. Nah. Um, seen that butterfly. Does that go there? Yes, it does. So that goes along here. There's some white flowers. Oh, that might actually be them. Is that there? Nope. All right. Just the lighter shade of these pieces on the right is helping to get this together. But I'm not going to be able to fit the whole thing in. Ah, that fell apart. There we go. So maybe I can start to separate this out. I know they go together, so I'll keep them close. Uh, Pretty certain these mossy pieces go at the bottom. Pretty sure that goes at the side. Um, does that go on the bottom? Not sure. Don't know about that one. Okay. So that goes at the top. Generally trying to get all these in the right places for now. Uh, yeah. Right. That looks like a bird's wing. Oh yeah, that's down here. Yeah. Is that go there? Yes. Hmm. Sure, I just tried that. Oh, no. The front butterfly. Still pink, but different. Oh, that's that horn on that animal there. Oh, sounds good. I bet Sam would get you a mystery puzzle. Yeah? She probably would. Oh, she's not in today's stream. She wasn't in today either. I'll need to see if she's okay. At least I don't, unless I've not spotted her. Oh, thanks. I'll go look for that. Do you know where it's sold? Amazon sells it to the US. Third party seller. Well, what are you looking for, Liza? It says, Vicky, maybe a mystery 3K too small? No, I don't think so. No, I think 3K is plenty big enough for a mystery puzzle. Even a 2K. Lol, I cannot be trusted to send you a mystery puzzle. Based on those suggestions. Ask Donna Louise for a Chinese puzzle. Aye, that'd be good. Something not too well known. If it was in your collection, you'd guess very quickly, I think. Yeah, exactly. That's what I was thinking. I almost feel like it should be a 1,000 piece puzzle for a mystery puzzle. There just aren't enough large piece counts to be much of a surprise. I think it would have to be something that I don't do very often. Like the kind of image I don't do very often. and like by a company that does a lot of large piece. Like, so I don't know. I'm just throwing things out there here, but like for example, Clem and Tony do a lot of large piece counts, and Educa do, and they're releasing new ones all the time. So a 2 or 3 thousand, I don't know, cottage in the mountain scene or something like that. I don't necessarily want a deliberately difficult image, but maybe something I wouldn't necessarily know well, because I wouldn't necessarily build that kind of image. I feel like the large piece count challenge would really just end up being finish the puzzle without using the image. Yeah, essentially. Essentially, yeah. I just think it'd be fun trying to figure out which puzzle it is. I have DM'd Sam the past 2 days and no answer, and her dot hasn't shown she's online at all. I hope she's okay too. I think I heard from her. Was it yesterday or the day before? Can't remember. It was either yesterday or the day before. Doesn't sound like Sam at all. Hope she's okay. Yeah, I mean, life happens. I know that. I don't want to be too intrusive, but I just wanting to know people are okay. Something with lots of fur. Now you're at it. Quit. Well, I mean, I must admit, I don't have a great deal of time for that at the moment. I've already got a lot of puzzles in line to do. Oh, it's a fun idea. I'm going to bank it. Just squirrel it away. And one day when I'm bored, uh, yeah, like that ever happens. One day when I'm bored, I'll think, that challenge. I'll do that. Right. There's a tiny bit of something on that piece. Just not sure what it is. Where are you? Feel like it goes along the bottom, but I can't quite see where. I don't know about that one. Mm. Ah. Mm, mm. Circular? It does. But what does it belong to? Already stumped on the edge, blimey. Right, never mind. It's fine. I'll be fine. Mm. Alright, that's quite a bright pew. And it goes up at the top, methinks. So it's going to go up there. And so is that. Is that going? Yeah. Right. They look like the bottom of the puzzle pieces. That does too. So I'm sort of working on texture here. all the greens at the bottom tend to be sort of like moss on rocks or big leathery leaves. Like it's a different kind of texture of green to the ones at the top. So that's mostly what I'm trying to figure out here. A lot of the pointy leaf plants as well, they tend to go at the bottom. Um, I think that goes at the bottom. I think that's one of the white plant pieces at the bottom. Oh, that's a dragonfly. Yay, that goes there. Yeah, that goes up there. Hmm. There, found that one. And the dark leathery leaves, they stand out as well. And they don't tend to be at the top. The big, really dark sort of chunky leaves. I don't know how best to describe them. That is there. That goes there. That goes there. Now then, I had those purplish plants earlier. Where are they? Oh, that goes there. I'm forgetting I've got these at the bottom. I've actually put them at the bottom to try and get my bearings with it, and then forgotten that they're there. There we go. That goes there. Now then, is that? Oh, that's a little lion's face just poking in at the side. I think. I think that was go on the left then. I reckon I've got a little bit cut off on the left. Unless it's not a lion, and I just don't remember what lions look like. It's entirely possible. Hmm. Right, that's over here. Right. Well, I'm getting some edges together. It's just very all over the place at the minute. Let me I'm just wondering if I can attach these there. Nope. Hmm. No. Oh, that's a big leathery leaf, and so is that. So, does that go there? Yes, it does. That doesn't fit there yet, but I think it's close. Uh, there. So this is coming together. The bottom. So that, got all that. That's got. Oh, that's the other side of this, I think. That doesn't go there. I put that in the wrong spot. That goes in there, and that goes in there. Okay, so that's that. They might well go up the side, these pieces. In fact, that looks like it might be the start where the lions start. Yes, it is there. So, let's see. Does that go there? No, I don't think it does. That goes there, though. Okay, so that goes up the side there, and it is on that side. I think there's just slightly more on this left side than I can actually see on the box. Slightly, not a great deal, but a wee bit. No. Yes. No. Yes. No. Yes. No. Yes. Well, that's the top of a wee ape's head. What goes at the top? I'm avoiding doing the top because it's just so much green and brown. And I've got a few wee pieces together, not vast amounts, but a few. It goes further over there. There. That bit's not too bad because it's lighter in colour. Goes there. I mean, I don't have to finish the edge necessarily. I mean, probably better if I finish what I started, but I don't have to. Don't think that goes there. Some of these pieces fit quite nicely, but aren't necessarily right. That's the top corner. That's this lower corner. There we go. Right. Okay. All right, the vine is helping me here. There's a vine that goes like right down the middle of the piece. That goes there. All right, so that's good. That helps. Well, it's quite near the top, that little cat face. I need to check that out on the bigger picture because I don't remember there being a cat up that high. Big cat. What colour? No, no. I still don't know where this goes. Nope, it doesn't fit there. Got into the zone, guys. Hope you don't mind. I would like to get not just the edge done on this round, but we'll see what I manage. That vine is really helping. Oh, wait a minute. I'm sure I've seen a bit with daisies. Let's have a look. Is it that one? No, it's not. So I think that goes nearby. There. Not sure where that one goes. Or that one. These are a bit less obvious which side they go on. I think that's. There we go. That's the edge of that red thing. Are these actual plants that exist in nature? Does anybody know what these are called? These red hanging plants? Or are they Adrian Chesterman originals? There's a question for you. Yeah. They don't sit level, these things. It's a bit annoying, these boards. I have two taped together that I always just get out and lay down on the table. Um, when I'm live streaming, and they're handy for that, to just whip out and cover up my main puzzle. But I could do with putting a bit of tape here, I think. Another bit of tape. And that goes there. I wonder if I can. Ah, there we go. And then that piece here. This is going way off the screen. I need some more to connect this. But again, I might not have every piece here. Might not have them all sorted, so that is hard to know. If I'm looking for a specific piece, I might not actually have it. And then the upper pieces are just kind of a jumble of green and pink flowers. So they're a bit more tricky. Let's go here. Yes. So the sides and the bottom aren't too bad looking at the moment. The vines, sometimes you can pair those up like that. I look carefully, really carefully. Eh, where does that bit go? Oh, that bit goes there. Right, okay. So that would go here, and then this would go here. Oh, does that mean I've got no? No. I've got a piece in wrong then somewhere. That definitely goes there. So then that appears to be. Got all that, and then that. That's that bit. That's right. I think it's that bit. Possibly. But I don't know if that goes there either. Let's see. Right, I'm not sure. I had a piece in wrong there somehow, but I think that's mostly the bottom. I've got some pink flowers there on the left. Pretty sure it's a flower and not a butterfly, but I could be wrong. These ones on the right are pretty together. Yeah, then. Does that go up here? Oh, it goes there. And that fits in there. So that's fine. There's a gap between these two that I'm not seeing. I'm not seeing that piece. But that's okay. Then that goes up and that goes up to there, and then I'm needing a piece in there. Oh, what's that butterfly? Look at that. No, no. Okay, right. Do you know what? I think I'm just gonna call it quits on the edge for now, because I don't want to be spending ages too long on it. I will I will put together I'll put on this board what I think I have. So these are all bottom sections. And I think probably off the camera I will try and put them on their relevant boards. So that's the bottom, and then that's the side, the left side, which is looking not too bad. And then the right side's looking not too bad. Sometimes when I reach a point where I start to get stuck, and then I kind of just feel better moving on for a bit. And then that's a good chunk of the top. Um, and then what we've got is a lot of bits of the top and some of the sides. That some are easy to tell they're at the top, but some aren't. So I'm gonna just try and put those and put my little together pieces near each other, and then the rest shall be fillers. I don't know if that's a side bit or not. I can't actually figure out where that goes yet. This one might be on the bottom. I do wish these had posters with them, I have to say. Some of these, I say smaller puzzles, but 3K is still a big puzzle, so come on, people, give us a poster. Sometimes I just get sick of seeing these little tiny flowers. It is about them, but they do my head in a bit. I just think because they're so little, give me something big and kind of chunky to work with. Uh, right, there we go. Right, so they're all my together bits, and this is a loose pile of edges. So I'm gonna just put them over here. So that's as far as I've got with edges. That's my loose pile. And I've been going, oh my lord, oh, I've been going 2.5 hours. Can I do the zebra? Just really fast. Let me at least put a little section together apart from edges, because I've not even managed the edges yet. I'm gonna put the flamingos on here. The zebra pile's relatively small. So let me do the zebra. It's because I spent a long time sorting at the start, so I'm not kind of, beating myself up too much, but that edge was actually quite difficult. Right. So I'm going to put these on here. These will be my next pieces that I tackle in the next stream. And I'm going to do these zebra. What's the picture, Cara? Oh, it's this one. It's the smaller version of Wildlife. So it's 3,000 piece panorama by Educa. It probably helps to not be green colorblind, lol. Oh, yeah, this puzzle will be a nightmare for you, Clark. Wildlife 3000. Yeah, that's the one. Special treat to have Monday streams. Yay! Well, I'm glad. I hope you've enjoyed this one. I know I've not got much building done. Take it there's a lot of green. Oh, yes, there is. So much green that even the 500-piece version of this puzzle scares me. Every day I wake up happy knowing I'll never do the 33,600-piece version mixed. Well, that's a good thing to make you happy. Probably neither will I. Probably. Don't say never. You just never know what's going to happen on this channel. I mean, that is true. You really never know. Reminds me of the Ravensburger exotic escape. Too much green. I completed the puzzle. You did it, but a lot of green. Gustin, and good the piece counts in each bag or half the 42k around the world puzzle. Yeah, actually, I must admit the bag sizes in wildlife are quite nice. Quite nice. Like it's not stressful doing a 3k one, and actually I'm finding building the two next to each other quite fun. Mixing gets stressful at times, depends what you're working on. So I'm going to attempt to put these zebra together. There's more than one. There's a little cluster of them sort of in the middle. There's one standing on its own on the right. And there's a couple just a little further on the right side, just above some hippo. So I think most of them are going to be this one more sort of in the middle. I'll show you um when I get a minute. I just want to put something together that isn't edge. So most of the zebra are actually um more in the background. So I would say that the stripes are quite tightly packed together on these ones. Yeah, this would be a tough puzzle to mix. I think it's doable, but tough. You're planning on mixing it, aren't you? Winter. I don't think that would be practical for me. Now then, that one. Ah, yeah, there's a little rhino behind it. I say little, it's probably quite big. But it's, as I say, in the background, so that's quite a dark bit. Is that one over there? I think that might be that one on the right. The stripes become a bit confusing because they're all clustered together. Does that go there? Yes, it does. So they all go in different directions because they're all kind of standing in different ways. Some are a bit more head on, some are more sideways on. Ah, that looks like a leg. That go there? No. No, it doesn't go there either. Hmm. Hmm. This is going to be a tricky one, I think. Definitely, this won't be an easy puzzle. smaller than the other one, but offers its own set of challenges, even at that. Right, that one goes underneath this one. There, I've got it the wrong way round. There. That one's got more green in the background, whereas these have quite a lot of blue in the background because they're standing in the water. That's not a zebra, that I think is one of the apes. I'm not sure about that one. Wait. Yes. Yes. Right. So, okay. So I'll show you what I'm working with here. So that's the biggest group of zebra there. Let me zoom in a bit. See there? And there are one, two, three, four zebra all standing together in the water. There's a rhino behind them. So that's where most of these pieces are going. Then there are two there, which are even more in the background, but you can still tell the stripes. And then there are two there, which are probably about as background as they are. So I'm getting some there, but they'll probably attach to the edge as well. So there might just be one piece that attaches that. I don't know, can't really tell. But they're the ones I'm putting together mostly, but there's a couple coming together here and here, which is confusing me a bit because there's more than one group of them. So, and because they're quite background, the stripes are very close together. These ones in the middle are a bit darker in colour. They're a bit more, I think they're just more in shadow. That, I think, goes there, yeah. In some cases, you can tell the water ones because you can actually see the water. Um, or you can see like a rock or a mossy rock or something. Yeah. Uh, Now then, that I think is the one that goes next to the edge. There, there, and it attaches to the edge. So that's that one. So I might as well just get those out the way. There we go. Oh, I still had it zoomed in. Sorry. Hope you still saw that coming together. Um, there, I've done some zebra. So they're on my edges, and I've just attached those zebra there to the edge, the right hand edge. And I haven't finished the edges. It was getting a little bit faffy near the top, so I'm just left those. And I really wanted to do a bit of the main puzzle itself before I finished. I realise I've not got much actually puzzled today, but it's sorted largely, so that's good. And we did have a good chat about sorting and things, so I'm hoping that you found that informative. But they're the zebra that are sort of just to the right of middle, and they're the ones just to the left of middle. So the zebra pieces were quite well sorted. I've got most of those. And then this is a pile of flamingo pieces that I will probably start on next. Not today, but next time, because I've been going almost 3 hours. Um, so if you look at this, we've got flamingo here. There's some there. There's a whole bunch here in the water. There's some flying. There's one there, there's one up there, some flying there, one there, some smaller ones here. So there will be a lot of clusters of flamingo coming together. But the pieces are pretty obvious. So I'm hopeful that I can get a good few bits come together from them. Then I think afterwards I'll probably attempt the lions, and that may bring together some of this orangutan because there's some sort of orangey yellowy colours in both. I've got a smaller pile for the orangutan, so there's some orangutan up there as well. So they might come together next, and we'll just take it from there. We'll just take it from there. It's going to be a bitty build, I think, this one. But I really hope that you enjoyed that. Um, and enjoyed the chat and everything. And yeah, I'll come back. I'm enjoying it so far. Enjoying it so far. Can't seem to get enough of this puzzle. Oh yeah, the edge was tricky. I'll try and get that finished off. I might just do that off stream. Finish putting the edge together. And then those are done. They're out the way. But good morning, Matt. How you doing? Given enough time, yes, but the plain white pieces will not be fun. Or in which puzzle? I suppose it would be going off piece shape. Hello, Matt. Are you ready to send a mystery large piece count puzzle to Vicky? Bags of pieces without the image. You say bags like multiple. I only want one bag. You're making this more difficult than it needs to be. Also, the black border around each image, the internal art, will be very doable, though. Well, I'm intrigued. I want to know what puzzle you're talking about. Winter, Andrew gave up on the white pieces for this puzzle. Did he mix it? Oh, are you talking about the double retrospect? The 32,000? I'm not sure. He's on Discord. You can ask him. Yeah, I know the one you mean. I've seen that video on TikTok that he did where he said it's almost done pretty much apart from the whites. I think he might have mixed it. I can't remember. I'd honestly go as far as to say that Double Retrospect is a poorly designed puzzle image. Was it designed to be a puzzle? That sounds like a daft question, but or did Ravensburger just take a picture and just turn it into a giant puzzle? I think that's the closest to impossible you can get, though, of the existing ones. Yeah, because they're just solid blocks of colour. I don't even think there's much of a difference in the shades of colour, if any. I know that I'd never consider mixing it, but I'm not big on mixing as is. Yeah, I wouldn't mix Double Retrospect. Thanks for the great stream. You are welcome. I'm glad you thought it was great. Press like, everyone. Thank you, Clark. Looks like I'm back at the end of the stream. Yeah, I've done some edges and some zebra. You've not missed masses, I have to say. I'm not sure even I would, but it's not really a puzzle I have wanted either, just because space is so limited for storing them. But that one would scare me to mix. Yeah, I'm not so sure that one's meant to be mixed, really. Don't forget to hit like. Thank you, Sonia. Take care, all. See you later, Gryffindor. Have a great day, everyone. It was a great time and good group therapy. Thank you, Ruth. I'm glad you think so. I'm glad you enjoyed. It was a modified version of Keith Haring's retrospect. The original was 12 panels. Double is 32. Okay. Yes, I was just curious if there's a truly impossible mixing puzzle. I haven't really wanted that one myself, though. Gosh, wish I had a full room to store giant puzzles. Yeah, impossible. Yeah, that's probably the closest to it because you've got there's no real texture with that. It's just a lot of blocky colours. So I think I think that's probably the one. Um Gosh, yeah, I wish I had a giant room to store them all too. Good job, thank you. Thanks, Cara. Not meant to be mixed. Yeah, this is the thing. Large piece counts, they're really not meant to be mixed. They're meant to be built separately, I think. You really do have to consider before you just go ahead and mix them, I would say. Um, I have two considerations when I'm considering mixing, and one is practicality and the other is enjoyment. And if it's neither going to be practical for me nor enjoyable, I won't do it. And it's not because I'm trying to make it less challenging. It's not because I'm trying to do less of a job. It's not because I mean you all understand this. You're all a lot of you are large piece count puzzlers, so you get what I'm saying. But for the people that are just straight up like, no, it's not really this size puzzle if you don't mix it, blah blah blah. Like eh, I just think I'm not afraid to mix, but it has to be the right puzzle, and I have to enjoy it. Otherwise, what's the point? And I'm gonna name it the size that it says on the box, whatever happens. Some people get mad at me because I call it a puzzle, 9,000 piece puzzle, say, but I'm doing it in sections. Like honestly, I get people in the comments that get quite mad because that's what I call it. But at the end of the day, that's the number on the box. Um, and I'm not going to be long-winded about it, and I'm just going to say what it is. But yeah, I mean, there are some that with the best will in the world, would just be really, really hard. And I mean, that would be nowhere near enjoyable trying to build double retrospect from mixed. I don't think I would enjoy that at all, And then what's the point? Anyway, I got all a bit serious there, didn't it? Anyway, I'm gonna I'm gonna leave it there. I'm gonna put all my pieces away in a box, and I'm mostly sorted now, so hopefully it'll just be building from here on out. And yeah, I really hope you've enjoyed that. Please leave a like if you did. Thank you so much for being with me today. And just being really happy that there's a third stream. I'm really pleased about that. I'm glad that you're enjoying it. So I'll be back next Monday with this puzzle. My next stream this week will be Thursday on the Reverie puzzle, which is really, really fun. I'm enjoying that a lot. It made me chuckle, Winter. Lol, they get mad. People don't have enough to do then. Well, yeah, it's the tone of the. I mean, it's hard when it's written to sort of gauge the tone. But I've had somebody say to me something like, "Will you stop calling it that?" And and somebody told me it was wrong to call it a 9,000 piece puzzle. I think they were referring to the Disney Museum, which is ironic because I've mixed that one. Um, but I've been told it's wrong to call it that, and I've had people say, "Will you stop calling it that?" It's insane. And you know what else is quite amusing as well? It's often that these people have never mixed a puzzle or built a large piece count. They just have something to say about it. It winds me up. Can you tell? It winds me up. But anyway, it matters not. We've had a good stream today. It's been fun. I've really enjoyed it. I'm glad I got a little tiny bit of the main puzzle built. But I hope you've enjoyed, and I will see you with this puzzle next week, and I'll be back on Thursday for the next live stream. And don't forget, look out for a premiere on Friday for the giant wildlife. I want to do a premiere on that. And I'm so close to finishing the video, so very excited to show you. Very excited. What are you supposed to call it? Four 1,500 piece puzzle? It's what, like, I'm doing a video. I'm not going to sit here and say, today, folks, I'm building this puzzle, which says 9,000 pieces, but actually it's four blah blah blah, and it's just like, or two blah blah blah. And no, I'm not going to say that. I'm not going to say that. You know, if you have an issue with the number and the amount of bags it's in, take it up with the manufacturer. I didn't make it. I just build it. Yeah, no, you're absolutely right, Peggy. Exactly. Good luck winning the limited edition glitter puzzle. Oh yeah, that. Oh yeah. I'm really looking forward to seeing that. It looks fun. It looks fun. My kind of thing. Like a round crypt puzzle that's been glitzied up. All right. Okay. I'll leave it there. I'm definitely going to go now. I'll see you next time, folks. Thank you so much. Please leave a like and leave a comment as well if you're watching this later on. And I'll see you next time.